it's Danny, and I'm blogging now at The Seattle Mouse. I'm going to answer today a question I get asked a lot. As most of you know, we're homeschoolers, and I'm not going to say that being able to travel during the off season factors into why we homeschool, but it might. So, naturally, we hang out with a lot of homeschoolers. I get asked a lot, how do we make a trip to Disneyland educational? Because if you're going to take a trip during the school year, you should probably make sure the kids are learning something. So today I'm going to answer that question, how we do it. Mind you, our kids are in kindergarten and first grade right now. So some of the ideas are going to be more geared towards younger kids because that's what I have. But there are definitely options for high schoolers, middle schoolers, and even college kids. Reading, writing, arithmetic. It's the big three that we all try to at least incorporate into every day of homeschooling, right? There's signs, there's informational boards, there's all kinds of stuff to read. Not to mention, think about the stories that Disney told. Pinocchio, Snow White, Cinderella. A lot of these naturally came from Grimm fairy tales. So those are great books to visit before you arrive and are available in a large range of reading abilities. Not to mention, there's some rides that are focused on stories that kids might not be familiar with that are still classics. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Wind in the Willows, which Mr. Toad's Wild Ride focuses on, as well as the stories of Uncle Remus, which you can see during Splash Mountain's portrayal of the story of Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear, which is one of my personal favorites. Mind you, that story is really hard to read if you're not used to the Southern dialect, so keep that in mind. My kids hate writing, but something about being at Disneyland just inspires them. Boom! One way we keep them engaged in writing is sending postcards. There is mailboxes available in Disneyland to drop them off, so remember to pack your stamps, and they'll be picked up by the Anaheim Post Office. If you don't want to spring for actual postcards, don't forget most of the resorts and hotels have their own personal stationery that your kids can also write a letter back home on. Another way we engage our kids in writing on our trips is our Disneyland travel journal. How you got to Disneyland, the things you did to pass the time, and there's this spiffy little envelope to put things like your tickets and your maps and character autographs. These graphics are so cute. I couldn't help myself. $17.99, World of Disney, well worth it. Let's talk about math, baby. So how do you get your kids to math while at Disneyland? For one, my kids are obsessed with time. What time are we eating? What time is this show? What time is the parade? Time. It's a great opportunity to start teaching about time. Another way to incorporate math is money. They get a set amount of money on their souvenir gift card, and when they spend it, that is it. No more money for you. Every time that a transaction happens on your receipt, it will show you how much you still have available for the balance. This gives them an opportunity to really think before they make a purchase and to also track their spending. Science! There's this really great little show called Turtle Talk with Crush. And Crush comes up for an interview. The kids in the audience ask him questions about being a turtle, about sea life, pretty much about anything. And because kids always say the darndest things, it's a pretty funny show. In December, my oldest asked Crush, how do you grow? And he talked about how turtles' shells are made of keratin and how people have keratin in their body as well in the form of our fingernails. Get it? Really funny. In Downtown Disney, there's a Rainforest Cafe, and sometimes, depending on the scheduling, the Rainforest Cafe will offer parrot shows where a trainer will come out and talk about parrots. Additionally, if you have older kids, there is a roller coaster, and it goes upside down. Kids are always fascinated with the physics of how can you go upside down on a roller coaster and not fall out. So that is a great opportunity to explore that concept as well. Disneyland is full of such a rich history of America, of Walt, pretty much of animation as we know it, and storytelling. There is an attraction, it's a short show with an animatronic Abraham Lincoln called the Disneyland story presents great moments with Mr. Lincoln. Obviously, great opportunity to study some history. They have the bakery tour, and you can explore the history of sourdough bread making, how it's made today, and you get a free sample. I love food. I especially love Disneyland food. So a free sample, I am there. Maps. Maps, map reading, geography is done. At Disney California Adventure, the whole purpose of the park is to recognize the rich history and beauty of the state of California. You have Hollywoodland, you have Paradise Pier, which is a homage to the classic Santa Monica Pier. You have the area around Grizzly Peak and the Redwood Challenge, which focuses more on the forest part of California, which is also where Soarin' is. You have Cars Land, which obviously pays homage to Route 66. And pretty soon you'll have Marvel Land coming, which I'm assuming kind of focuses on what the future of California is going to look like. It might also kind of be paying homage to Hollywood and special effects. Nobody's really quite sure because Disney is still pretty tight-lipped on that project. Other really great areas to explore geography: Soarin' Around the World, which you do have to be 40 inches to ride. It's pretty much a simulator, hang gliding over things like the Eiffel Tower, the savannas of Africa, the Great Wall of China. It's so pretty and so all-encompassing. I definitely recommend it. Small World for your small tater tots. Obviously, Small World is built on this idea that it's a small world after all. So every room has a different culture and place on the globe that it explores. Mexico, Hawaii, and the Polynesian Islands, France, Germany. It's all there, and it's all a lot of fun. Other places to explore: New Orleans Square, which is especially awesome at Mardi Gras time. Matterhorn is another great area to kick off some exploration of geography. Obviously, Matterhorn is modeled after the Matterhorn in the Swiss Alps. The time of year you go is also going to affect some of this. In January, you can celebrate Chinese New Year at Disney California Adventure, which I did this past week. It features a lot of traditional Asian celebration foods, and you can also get a chance to see the very rarely seen Mulan and Mushu. During Easter, which I have also been during, you can do this really cool scavenger hunts. They hide eggs around the two parks and the downtown Disney district, and you get a sheet of stickers and you find them around the park, which is a really great way to keep your kids engaged and exercising their power of observation. During October, the Disneyland parks do deck out for Halloween. More so Disneyland than Disney California Adventure, but you can find a Dia de los Muertos set up at Disneyland near the Frontierland area. Viva Navidad in Disney California Adventure. It's a huge Christmas celebration that also features a lot of traditional celebratory holiday foods, and you also get a chance to usually see some of the lesser seen characters from the Three Caballeros, as well as just a huge festival for celebrating Navidad. It's super hard to ignore the art at Disneyland. If you want to factor it into your homeschooling, there is an Art of Animation Academy that goes on. I don't know where my art pieces went. Pretty much you sit with an animator from Disney and they walk you through step by step how to draw a popular character. So, and you get to keep your drawing at the end. So it's also a free souvenir. One great tip that I probably picked up from the internet somewhere is to let your kid take over photography duties. It's really cool to see the park from their eyes. Legos! We are huge Lego people in this house, and Downtown Disney does have a Lego store, and outside they have Legos and Lego tables that you can just play at to kill some time. I never was a fan of PE. I am still to this day not a fan of PE. It's especially important if you have little ones that you're pushing around in a stroller. In Disney California Adventure, there's a place called the Redwood Creek Challenge. and it's pretty much a bunch of suspended bridges. There's slides, there's rock climbing walls, there's all kinds of really cool stuff to do. For older kids, another way you can factor in PE besides just walking is track that mileage. Get yourself a Fitbit or some other kind of step counter and see just how far you guys are walking that day. Obviously, it's very important to hydrate while you're doing that. I think part of the reason we homeschool is because I want my kids to learn life skills in real life settings. Things that don't really fit into any kind of curriculum category that Disney trips can teach is public speaking as they are approaching characters, or if they're engaging in shows like Turtle Talk with Crush. It allows them to get over any kind of stage fright, shyness, and being awkward in social situations like I am. It allows them to exercise patience because some of those lines can get really, really long. And for a kid, patience is not exactly their strong suit usually, so it gives them an opportunity to learn to entertain themselves while they're bored and waiting. It allows them to exercise good judgment in prioritizing. There's no way you can do everything at Disneyland in a day or even 2 days. I've been on 4 days trips and we still have not been able to do everything in both parks. So it gives them an opportunity to try to figure out what it is they really super want. And that's one of my biggest tips, is to have each family member choose 3 things that they absolutely must do on this trip. And as long as you conquer all 3 of those things for each family member, consider your trip a success, even if you didn't get to do everything. Things like the Jedi Camp, as well as the Disney Junior Live Show, give them an opportunity to listen and follow directions. Listening to cast member directions and following safety procedures such as sitting during rides, keeping their seatbelts on, those kinds of things. Additionally, in our family especially, because our children are such different personalities, we have to deal with fear a lot with our youngest, and going to an amusement park really gives them an opportunity to discuss those feelings of apprehension and to learn how to overcome them, or how to exercise the skill of compromising. Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions about how to homeschool during your Disney trip, or homeschooling or Disneyland or anything in general, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer you back. I'm also available on social media, on Twitter at TheSeattleMouse, or on Instagram, TheSeattleMouse. And if you liked this video, let me know. I'm hoping to make more in the future. Thanks for watching and have a magical day.